Give you my sickness.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of 9-5 Nerds with Robert Swathwood, Corey Urkel.
Hi.
If you've noticed, I'm not doing the. Brian is still laughing. I'm not doing the movie TV show people this week because we have 5 of us, and I didn't really want to think of 5 names.
He didn't want to be quick about it.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
He's been naming
2 weeks ago we did Friends. Last week we did Futurama.
With Star Wars.
Oh. Yeah, that could have been.
You want to do... Oh, say it with... No. Anyways.
I'm Hux.
You are
You're
Hux.
Space Hitler?
You're Space Hitler.
Isn't that a conundrum?
Yeah. How can a Jewish person be
He's not
Space Hitler?
He is totally Space Hitler.
There was that whole scene in A Force Awakens where they're all standing out and he's like speaking and they're all like...
He's Space
Yeah,
Hitler.
he's freaking screaming.
Anyways, and our guests are... Are you really a guest at this point, Katrina?
I don't know.
He got trolled hard.
He did. I don't know if Katrina's considered a guest or a permanent fucking person on here.
I'm an executive producer at this point.
There we go.
Hey!
Corey and I are the stars. Katrina's the executive
You're not a
producer.
regular producer?
I put in the work.
What is a producer anyway?
They produce.
They put everything together.
Okay.
Well, you edit the podcast.
No, but I get everything up on the internet.
Didn't Kevin
That's
Smith
true.
talk about, what's his name, Mosier?
Scott Mosier?
How all the work he has to do? Like,
I'm the brain behind.
he's like, I just say let's do this, and he has to figure out how we do it.
Yeah, that's
Sounds
basically
about
what
right.
I do.
Yeah.
And our guests today are Brian Pasfume, I guess, with Robert Swathwood, Corey Urkel, executive producer Katrina Swathwood, and our guests today are Brian Pasfume.
Hello.
And 60 episodes later, Eric Galactus.
Did you guys used to watch Law and Order?
Yeah.
Like Special Victims Unit?
Yeah.
Executive producer Dick Wolf.
Yeah.
So I don't remember if he was a producer, but there's somebody else that worked on the show whose real name is Speedweed.
Yeah.
Speedweed?
Speedweed. He works on another show now, but I can't remember what it is.
I saw a YouTube video that made fun of.
I always see like
what's the
hats
names?
for sale. Executive producer Dick Wolf.
Yeah.
Steel Canyon just won
Cock Tiger?
state championship this week. And the
Do
coach
you like that segue?
the coach for Steel Canyon's last name is Longbone.
There you go.
So I was going somewhere with that.
Harry Longbone?
I don't know. I think it was Richard Longbone. No, it wasn't.
I got something.
But it was Longbone. Yeah.
Bedbugs.
So
He's a writer on
Why
Arrow.
would you do
There we
that?
go.
You know who I live with.
Could you
I don't
imagine
have
Speedweed?
Speedweed.
Somebody put the scare at me today saying movie theaters, home for bedbugs. So my whole
Really?
neck is like itchy at the theater. I'm like, oh god, something's biting me.
is that like when somebody says lice and then everybody's like,
Exactly.
Head.
You immediately
Yeah.
start itching. Yeah. Same thing.
We were watching a Mickey Christmas thing, and we told Eric this. Well, Scrooge McDuck was on it, and the same guy has done Scrooge McDuck since the first Christmas Scrooge thing in 1983. So he did it for DuckTales.
Yeah.
He did it for everything as recently as last year, and he died in 2016 at 96 years old.
Yeah.
Was he
I had the DuckTales video game. He voiced that.
Yeah.
Every living. I was coming from a podcast here. I was wearing a DuckTales shirt, and somebody 7-Eleven said that guy died today. I was like, what?
Oh, wow.
So I was like, oh, that's fucked up.
Was his first thing Scrooge and the Christmas Tale? Christmas, whatever the thing's called?
He's the
I
guy
don't remember
also.
what it was called.
Christmas Carol.
You ever
Christmas
wa-
Carol.
You ever watch Mr. Ed back in
No.
the day?
With the horse?
Yeah,
Horse.
he's the counterpart. He was the actual guy.
Okay.
He was in a bunch of old
Yeah.
things.
He was born in 1919.
That's old.
Yeah. Okay, so with that being said, with all that, this will be our Star Wars. We don't really review movies anymore. We kind of just...
We don't give them
Destroy them.
ratings.
Why haven't we given them
destroyed
ratings?
them. We destroy the disaster artist.
No, we
Because you
didn't.
really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Oh shit! That means
What?
you have to come in hot.
No.
I do have a take that... So I'm not going to spit out exact numbers here.
You don't want to do a family tree?
All right. We're going to do a Star Wars Mad Lib here real quick. I'm not going to explain how...
It's going to be good.
Where do you get the words from?
I take them down when you guys are talking.
You did already?
Yeah.
Like before.
So
Right
when you
now.
see Katrina with a notepad in previous ones...
Well, this one
she's-
actually has notes for the movie.
She's filling...
Jesus Christ!
She's executive producing.
Yeah,
Is that-
she's executive producing.
This is what happens when you go by yourself.
She didn't go by herself.
I didn't go by myself.
Who do you go with? Friends?
Lacey and Corey.
And they let you take notes? Ridiculous.
She has a pen where the tip of it lights up while you write.
I actually don't.
I was gonna say that's cool.
She doesn't, but I was thinking about that when I was taking notes for Wonder
It
Woman.
plays music when you push
That'd
it
be
down on
mean. I
it.
don't want to do that to somebody. I had somebody sit next to me.
You just sit in the back row.
Okay, do you guys want to hear this?
No.
I do.
Star Wars Family Tree.
No.
Go ahead.
Are we taking a vote?
A review. You don't get votes. It's basically Corey and I account for 51% because I pay for that
He's
all
majority
stuff.
shareholder.
Yeah. So, a review of the big main characters in the cool saga Star Wars.
That fits.
Darth Vader, a.k.a. Anakin Skywalker, father of Brian Skywalker and Princess Leia Organa. Apprentice to Corey and Emperor John Bernthal,
Annoyingly.
married Padme Amidala. Obi-Wan Kenobi, also known as Old Robert. Yeah, that's about right.
Nice.
Jedi Master to the entertaining Jedi Rooftops. Mm-hmm. Anakin and Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker, son of Darth Dick. And Princess, what is that?
It's an actress. Good luck with that.
What's that?
What?
Some lady.
It's Saoirse. Her name is Saoirse.
Saoirse Ronan, after many years of fucking, became a Jedi douche like his father. Princess Leia Organa, the twin game of Luke Garbage Walker. Terribly in love with Katrina Solo.
Katrina
Solo.
Little male name?
Okay, it asked for all men, and I just thought that was totally sexist, so I was the only other person here, so I've been called a guy before, so I put it in there.
Somebody's called you Katrina?
Yes.
Han Solo. First table of the Millennium Generator. This space cow mafia
Yeah.
has a... What is that?
Tongue
of gold, though he tries to hide it. Alright. Darth
Sorry.
Dick.
You like that?
I do like Darth Dick.
Fucking everybody.
Fucking everybody to a douche. Yeah, so this will be our Star Wars... No, what I was going to say is I wanted to start out with... Rotten Tomatoes has this at 93%, but the audience rating is like 54%.
That's unusual.
Whereas Justice League had like 40% or whatever,
The
and the
opposite.
audience rating was like an 80%. Now, I wanted to say,
Usually for fan favorites, it's audience way up.
yeah, do you think that when a movie has a higher rating, fans will be more critical of it, and if it has a lower rating, they're more willing to forgive some of the...
They work against each other?
Yeah.
I can see that.
Because in that aspect, obviously Star Wars is... I mean, I have some problems with it, but obviously it's the much better movie compared to Justice League, whereas Justice League had the low rating, but it had the higher audience rating.
Yeah. That's interesting.
You're talking about heartstrings, though. A lot of people are pulling from their childhood when they're going to see something like this.
Star Wars? Well, I think that a lot of people overlook the bad things about Star Wars because it is a movie that we all watched as kids
And love.
so we're willing to overlook some of the negative things about the movie
I agree.
to enjoy it more, because I am going to tear this fucking movie
Well, I
apart.
have 4 pages of notes, so that can only tell you so many things.
What's the first...
Well, are we going to do previews first, or are we just going to jump into the movies?
What's World Engines or...
I didn't see it. Did you
I
get to see
did
it?
Mortal Engines.
I wanted to
That
watch
looked
it too.
interesting.
The Peter
It's
Jackson.
on the internet, on the
It's a
interweb.
very short thing. 30
Right.
seconds, 45 seconds.
Yeah.
And you were left going,
Wait,
the
what?
fuck is this shit? So basically it's Mad Max, except
There's cities
Trains?
on cars.
there are giant...
Snowpiercer?
Yeah, in a way, it's...
You ever see Snowpiercer, Eric?
No.
That's good.
You should watch that. It
It's
seems
like
like a movie you
The
would
one
like.
with the train with
Yeah.
Chris
Evans.
This one's,
I
what's
think
that
you'd like
giant
it.
vehicle chasing us? It's
London.
London.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking, like, I don't get it.
Did you see the one about like the caveman in the first...
Alpha.
Was it called Alpha?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you? It's the first relationship of like a man with a dog. He like basically
He's
starts
a
taking
wolf.
care of a wolf.
No.
It looked really interesting.
I'm more interested in Wallace and Gromit, BC.
Oh,
Really?
What is that?
You're
Early Man?
Early Man.
That looks better than Alpha to me.
But
no.
how? I used to love Wallace and Gromit, but who actually goes and see those movies?
No,
They
I'm
don't
not,
do
I'm not
well.
saying it's a theater movie, but in terms of movies I think are going to be more enjoyable. I don't know, do you guys watch either of those trailers?
I saw Early Man. I didn't see the Alpha one.
I thought the Alpha one looked interesting.
I saw A Quiet Place again, and I want to
I
watch it.
didn't.
I really want to see that.
I wanted to.
That's on the
I didn't see
internet
it.
too.
Have you seen that trailer?
Which
the
one?
last trailer
Quiet
I
Place.
saw was
Ready Player One.
well, I saw that on Saturday. Battle Angel.
Yeah, the Alita.
Alita.
Yeah.
I didn't
That
see
looked
that.
That's
weird.
Cameron, isn't it?
The-
James Cameron.
I don't know.
It's just because
Pretty
they make her look
Yeah,
like an anime
that's a James
character, which is
Cameron.
weird
Well,
to
not
me
like a
out, but I
director, because
mean,
he's doing
Avatar.
Avatar. Even I pulled up his IMDb the other day to show somebody, and the next 4 movies he's doing is Avatar 2, 3, 4, 5.
For Disney now.
But it did say, I think, produced by him, or executive producer or something.
It's just weird. She's this little petite little girl with a huge freaking head and huge freaking eyes. And
It's just
weird.
huge eyes. I was like, what is this, anime come to life?
It is, basically.
the bad guy from Deadpool was one of the robots that she was fighting.
I noticed that, and Christoph Waltz.
Yes.
Hey, yeah. I like him.
Yeah, who doesn't?
I'm
Academy Award winner. Who's
trying to think of.
Flash? Like, because the Muslim guy who just won was in it, and
Oh, from
yeah,
Luke Cage.
and somebody else who just won. an Academy
Diamond
Award.
Cottonmouth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I was like,
Mahershala
Ali.
Ali.
yeah.
Yeah. He was good. What are you doing, Brian?
I'm trying to
He's trying
see.
to find out.
The James
Well,
Cameron.
that too. I couldn't find it. No, the Mortal Engines thing came on, and I wanted to see who was in it.
Oh,
I couldn't
actor-wise?
tell you.
Hugo
It was so
Weaving's
They
in
only
it.
showed the girl with that.
Yeah.
Stephen Lang is in it. Yeah, I don't know who the girl is. I think it's this one. Hera Hilmar?
Sure.
I don't know who that is.
Sure, yeah, that was her.
Anyway.
You
So,
betcha.
Star Wars. I'm going to just say ahead of time, as I start to tear this movie down, that I actually did really like it.
I thought I was gonna be the nitpicker.
No, I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, a lot. And it's... Do I think it's a 93% or a 94% out of 100? No. But I did really like it a lot. Can we give like a little
Yeah, I'll give you a little.
in remembrance that Admiral Akbar died?
Yeah.
Anybody catch that?
They
Yeah, it
gave
was
him
just like-
zero love,
Yeah.
and I was wondering if they replaced him with a different.
Fish dude?
Lobster?
What do they call him? Calamarian or
Calamari.
Calamari.
Oh, so
Isn't it Mon Calamari?
yeah, that's what they are.
Calamarian's way better.
I came close. Mon Calamari.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, and they didn't call him out by name till after he's gone, so
Yeah.
there's no like, it's a trap.
Yeah. I wrote a bunch of, not as many notes as 4 pages. Funny enough, this is the same scene as that was. I did not like that Princess Leia in space,
The Force Leia.
the Force Leia scene
Fly into
where
the
she
door?
flies through space. I thought that was,
Stupid.
there we go.
Awful.
Did you not get that she's using the Force to pull herself back?
No, I get it. But,
So she uses it's a Force.
so you didn't like the scene either.
What's wrong with you?
She's
Why you-
hanging out in space, dying, and then all of a sudden her eyes open and she's just like, I'm off to the door.
You've never seen Guardians of the Galaxy? Same thing.
Not
No.
I mean, if we're being completely honest, I didn't care either way, but if they would have just killed her there, it would not have affected the rest of the movie at all.
Should have never got a Luke.
He could
Scene.
have done something else in the cave. He could have, whatever.
I mean, with that,
Them having a meeting was cool.
even pushing it further, what happened in the movie to progress the story any further than, I mean, the amount of momentum that the story took could have been achieved in, like, if you cut out 2 hours of that movie. They're basically flying through space, running out of gas.
Could you not say the same thing of
A lot of things.
Empire?
It was basically a parallel to Empire. The whole setup of
Is
the movie
that is that bad though?
No,
No.
it's not. But there was a lot in that movie that directly lines up with Empire.
Yeah,
The whole side mission
one
to
person
the
going
casino
out to
planet.
see like the Grandmaster, while the other one's being chased by the Empire. All parallels.
And then him being brought in front of the Grandmaster, just like how Luke got brought in front of
That was
Emperor Palpatine.
Return of the Jedi.
At
We're
the
gonna
end when
miss-
he loses his hand, no, that was Empire.
Oh, he's brought no. Darth Vader cut off his hand.
Right.
There's
Wasn't
no.
he
You
brought
just
in front
said
of them?
Emperor's all hologram until Return
Yeah.
of the
No,
Jedi.
okay.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
But I mean, close enough. They all want bring me that young, powerful
Right.
one, and he'll be whatever. So is that would you criticize Empire for the same thing?
I'd have to watch it again with my adult mind, critical mind on it. Because it's hard to be super critical of that movie since I watched it as a kid.
Yeah.
Whereas watch this one as an adult for the first time, so it's easier to be. And like I said, I'm nitpicking. I'm going to talk about all the things I really did like. I didn't like that Snoke went out as a little bitch.
Oh, that was awful.
After like they hyped him up to be this like.
And who was he?
This
We may never know.
I said before, I said this week to people at work that I hope he's not anybody and he's just a new character and whatever plays out, because I don't want everything to be like, oh, well, he was fucking Mace Windu, you know, like people.
Yeah, there was that speculation.
The fact that he went out halfway through the movie completely caught me off guard, so I actually kind of like that. Because I did not expect, I expected him to be Emperor. And the fact that he's not, I think is cool. Because I did not, you see where movies are going most of the time. You know, Luke was going to go out as soon as like he appeared on screen, basically.
I just don't like a character being like hyped up to be this like Jake. I guess you could work it both ways.
And the way he could use the Force through a hologram. What the hell was
When
that about?
when he slammed
That
Hux
was
down,
cool.
That was cool.
Yeah,
But-
that was
Oh man, in that same scene, you finally get to see Imperial guards
Oh, that was great.
fight for the
Yeah.
first time.
That like sword whip
Oh
thing.
my god, because you saw them in the original trilogy, but they were just guards. Whereas
Yeah.
this time you actually see them get to. And you would think that if they're guarding one of the most powerful people in the entire galaxy, that they'd have to be able to hold their own. And they held their own against fucking rookie Jedi, but I mean, still a Jedi and a.
I think some of the cartoons went into them like fighting or something, but
They were
this is
badass.
Cool. Yeah, it would give a cool fight with two Jedi, or you know, a Jedi and a Sith have never fought on the same side in anything.
That whole scene, that whole
That was
battle scene was cool.
It was.
Between them fighting and.
I did feel like Kylo Ren, if he was as strong as they made him out in the last movie, could have killed them all with just holding him still. He's able to hold I mean, he held Rey, you know, her arm back, and he couldn't. Why can't he hold any of them down?
Well, he's also healing. No?
Nah, it's-
Confidence defeated.
he just killed the Emperor. I'm sure his confidence was pretty
I
good.
don't know.
So
He's crazy, motherfucker.
It does throw, like, before, when you saw Force Awakens, you thought that there was a lot of speculation that Kylo might be a double agent.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now he's killed the biggest, baddest guy around, and he's not a good guy, so it's like, no, he really is a bad piece of shit.
I never really believed that Han Solo turned the lightsaber to himself. I know that was a big rumor, but
Well, what
There's
about
enough-
him not killing his mom?
yeah, there was good in that. But
He
him
just
being
hated his dad.
No, I mean, and that kind of left a question for me. I really don't know how Han died, because if he wouldn't kill his mom, would he really kill his dad? Because neither of them...
something about a boy getting along with his mom better, or you know,
No.
No.
I mean,
for most cases,
you yourself are a example of that not being true.
it's like a Freudian thing.
That's not what that is.
Yeah,
No. That has to do with, like, sexual desires and stuff.
how dare you?
you always
He
go
has
after somebody like your mom.
He has no desire to be with Leia.
I know, but that's what you're referencing as Freudian. That's what the
A boy
connection
loves his
would
mom.
be.
I'll say this, that this is the first time I ever clapped during a movie. And I have this big thing about not clapping, but when they did the little memorial thing for Carrie Fisher at the end,
Okay.
I actually did clap. And I was the only one for a second. And then
Aw.
I started
You started
the
the
slow
slow
clap.
clap.
I'm sure if you're like, oh, this asshole.
Was this at the end of the credits?
No.
No.
Not even 5 minutes.
It was like a minute and a half into the
Yeah.
credits. It
Yeah.
said, in memorial of our princess, Carrie Fisher. And I'm like, oh.
We didn't stay that long.
You didn't stay
Dude,
till...
that was literally like
No.
you literally.
You couldn't even have got out of the movie theater unless you ran.
He probably
It
ran.
said like...
No, I didn't see it.
It said like the 5 main actors and then said, that's it. I mean...
No, I didn't
And
see
then
it.
they went into the actual credits of the movie. That are like 5 million
So you know,
minutes
the
long.
director,
I was
producer.
pretty hungry, and I had to use the restroom
I was
really
pretty
bad.
hungry.
And it was like 11-ish, 11:30. I was tired.
I'll never go see a movie that late ever again.
We went at like 8:30.
Yeah, I guess it
late.
is 2.5 hours. But,
It
I kinda
it
wish-
didn't seem like it was that long.
I thought there were points when the movie was going to stop, like Fellowship of the Ring would, like it would just cut off, and
it
then
seemed like it had like 3...
yeah,
Before they got to the Red Planet.
yeah. Like I was like, this
I did
movie's
like that
really
they
long.
showed the resistance brewing in a younger generation.
Oh, the little youngling?
And then that... What?
Not me.
Did you
You didn't
get
like that?
audience reactions? to
Really?
that? Where the boy pulls the
Yeah.
broom and
Yeah.
everyone's
Yeah.
like, "What?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was,
Yeah, that was good.
I think that goes
Did you
in
not
with
notice that?
with the lineage of
Before they
Rey.
pulled the broom.
When the kid's sweeping the floor at the very end,
He
he
pulls
reaches
the-
for the broom and the broom
force
flies to
pulls
his
it.
hand. He pulls it to his hand.
Oh, I noticed that.
Yeah, so It was like a
How'd you not notice that?
like people in the theater were like, ah.
And there was little kids that helped them escape.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I thought it was a weird way to end the movie.
It was a weird way to end it, but I like the idea of it, that they're, they are the spark that lights the rebellion.
Let's just give it 20 years.
Well, it pulls back from his wanting to end everything and kill everything off. You can't do that.
There's a rumor that there's going to be a big time jump in between movies.
That's interesting.
It goes in with Rey's lineage that if she is in fact comes from no one, then any of these other children are just characters that have
Anyone
abilities
can cook.
that they don't. Yeah, sure. Like they don't have to be descendants of
Love that
Obi-Wan or Anakin or
Well,
anything
were all
like
the
that.
younglings descendants of somebody, or were they just kids that they found that had
Anyone
the
can cook?
talent?
No.
Yeah,
Could be.
I got you.
Eric and I were talking
Were you
by not talking.
confused?
No, I wasn't confused. He was confused.
I kind of wish that when Kylo took out Snoke, that we saw his hand moving, but we didn't see the saber. Like, I wanted to just see his hand doing this without them showing the saber moving, and then he does his little finger flip, and then it cuts him in half.
Not
Spoiler
to
alert.
insult anybody, but you have to assume that 50% of the population needs to be told what's going on. Because if you talk to an average person of average intelligence and realize that 50% of the population is dumber than that, this is why at the end of, just as an example... Just as an example, on Unbreakable, at the end of Unbreakable, they explain the entire movie through shots about what happened because obviously most of us can't fucking figure out what's going on, so we have to be told step by step that this is what's happening so people don't feel dumb.
It's like when I was watching
Uh-huh.
Memento, and Robert had to tell me every time they started a new section what had already happened because I could not follow along with the movie.
What was it at the end of Unbreakable?
When he finally gets that Samuel Jackson's the bad guy, it flashes back to everything.
To all the
That
accidents
happened.
that he created
Yeah,
to
all the
find
things that
Bruce Willis.
happen. Granted, I haven't seen Unbreakable in quite a few years, but
It flashed like all the newspaper headlines?
Yeah, I watched it like a couple of weeks ago. So
Yeah.
they're talking to each other, and then he's saying something about I've been looking for you.
Doesn't he do that in all his movies, though?
haven't
Willis
you
or
ever,
Jackson?
haven't you ever watched a
No.
movie the
Oh,
second
Shyamalan.
time?
Yes.
Haven't you ever watched a movie the second time through to see all the things that you catch
Yeah.
knowing the ending?
Anything has a
it's
twist
like
ending.
that, but it explained it to you at the end of the movie.
Is revealing all the subtle things.
Yes.
Right.
Wait, so that upsets you? Like the end of Sixth Sense,
Yes.
when it flashes back and shows the
See,
seeds.
there you go.
That's what I just said.
I don't need that. I don't need that. Just you go, oh, okay, cool.
He
I
did
think-
that in all of his movies.
Yeah, I think those are kind of
That's why he didn't make another good movie for fucking 12 years.
I think that every movie with a big twist does that. Usual Suspects.
I don't
Saw
need
did
that.
it.
Yeah.
I don't need it. That just plays into it for me.
It builds up the emotional
I think it's for
Filled with
stupid
that.
people.
Robert is the elitist watching these movies.
Yes.
You do not need to tell him what
Catch
happened.
these things and then be like, oh, I need to go back and see what's going on. You don't need to be explained the end of the movie. Maybe it's because I was sitting in the theater, and you always kind of realize what's going on right before it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Where somebody watched the whole thing and watched all the flashbacks, and then they're here. Oh, I get it now. And that happened to me watching Unbreakable in the theaters, and it's ruined it for me ever since. Where I'm like, there's really people that don't understand.
See, Unbreakable is a weird one because that twist isn't horrifying, game changing. But when you watch Sixth Sense, and you're like, but he interacted with his wife, and then it shows you the flashbacks because it's Bruce Willis thinking about it, and then it makes all perfect sense again. So instead of having to rewatch a whole movie again and understanding it,
Yeah, Fight Club did that too.
a quick little catch up scene is. I
That's
think,
on my shit list now too.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
I did like the mind link between Rey and Kylo and their conversations. I thought it was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
No really new stuff on Knights of Ren,
No,
which I thought was going to be a big thing.
you did get the explanation of why Kylo left.
What
Not
happened
enough
to the
to go
younglings?
kill everybody. I don't know.
Did he kill them all, or did he take any with him?
He had
'Cause
said he
who's-
killed.
All but a dozen.
Yeah, and
Some people think that the people he took are his knights.
Yeah, the Knights
I
of
read
Ren.
that. Is that a thing?
it showed in the first one.
For a split second, they
Yeah.
talked about it before the movie ever came out. But that hasn't came forward at all. Maybe he'll get them together when he's now Emperor Snoke or whatever. Supreme Leader. They can't call it Emperor. They can't call it the Empire. So it has to be the New Order, and they can't call it the Rebellion. They have to call it. What do they call themselves?
The Republic, isn't it?
There's another word. Because at the end he says Rebel Scum.
Yeah.
But there's another word. They're not the Rebellion. They're the something just like it.
Yeah.
I really,
Resistance.
I really like Oscar Isaacs. I don't think he got enough play in this movie, to be honest with you.
Which one's that?
He was in it a lot, then.
Poe?
Yeah, but I mean, he had the one scene at the beginning where he was like fucking shit up, and then it was basically him on the ship for the rest of the time. And I'm like, he was so cool, like flying around in the first one. And I'm like, I want to see more of that, and you didn't get a lot of that.
He had probably twice the screen time in this movie.
Well, he had to disappear in the first third of the last one because he crashed in
First half, I would say. Shit.
first half. But I really like him. I like John Boyega too. I like the whole cast. You could really see Andy Serkis in Snoke this time around.
You can hear him.
Yeah, you could really hear his voice and see, and with like obviously that big part of his one eye is kind of weird, but in his jaw and stuff, I like Andy Serkis a lot.
He looked very intimidating.
He did, and he did that force lightning real fast that one time.
Bounce
That
off
was
the
cool.
ground?
Yeah.
And he hit Ray in the head with a lightsaber. That was pretty funny.
Yeah,
That was funny.
There was a lot of comedy in this.
A lot of humor.
I did. What do you guys think about the part right at the beginning? I was cool with all the comedy
hear
except
me?
for that. Yeah, like, oh, I'm still waiting, and
Too
I'm just
much?
like,
I'm on hold.
It seemed
I'm
like,
holding.
yeah,
It was
kind of
cheesy,
like quick.
but
It was great though.
they had to figure out a way to whatever let his shit charge.
yeah.
So I mean, I'm fine with it.
I like that he tried to do his monologue multiple times, and 'cause he just didn't get it. It was fun.
I mean, I don't think I have major gripes like it sounds like the rest of you might, but it's just like little random stuff like that. I was cool with everything else. I thought the other funny parts were funny, and
No, I have. It's taking a page out of the Marvel book,
Yeah.
where it's it's an action movie that has little jabs in there. Although Luke didn't have any comedy in the whole thing. Oh wait,
What are you talking about?
did he have a lot of comedy?
The blade slap,
I
the grass
guess.
slap.
Yeah.
Oh
You
yeah.
feel the
yeah,
force
okay,
now?
okay.
That was good. The link with C3PO.
Did anybody expect Yoda to be in the movie?
No.
I was so glad
The only
he
thing-
was a puppet
Yes.
and not CGI.
That is true.
And he's just still fucking
The
with
voice
him.
actor was at the premiere, so if you saw him, then it was kind of like, eh.
Should know his
They
name.
still would have invited all the live people from previous movies, though,
Yeah.
especially one as iconic as Yoda.
There was definitely a reaction in the theater when you saw him.
I
Yeah.
did not expect him to be in it at all. Like,
I'm glad he was puppet Yoda
Yeah.
too, with the
I thought the same thing.
attitude of
yes, the
Yeah.
Dagobah.
Dagobah
Dagobah Yoda.
attitude. Yeah, because they completely like changed his character. He was a completely different character 1, 2, and 3.
All I kept thinking was seagulls.
Oh no.
Did you watch the bad lip reading or seen the bad lip reading video?
No,
Oh my
3-year-old.
god,
It's funny.
you should watch it. I won't play.
I probably won't.
Those little Jedi caretakers were funny.
Oh, the frog
Yeah,
things.
Yeah, they were funny.
That was good.
When Chewie was gonna eat the porg,
Yeah.
and then they're all just standing there, and
Like
he's
crying.
Which okay, so did anybody have a problem with the porgs?
No.
no.
I didn't either. Like, I know there's a lot of thoughts beforehand that it was good. Oh, this is another Jar Jar Binks, something to just for kids, so we could sell. And it is. They made it so they could sell shit. But I had no problem with it at all. They were cute. They were.
When it hit the glass, it got all
Yeah.
laughs in the theater.
What's the bird in real life that does that hangs out on the sides? The little puffins. It's basically a Star Wars version of a puffin. They fly around. They're on the side of big islands and stuff in different parts of the world. I did this, and then you two did that, and then he did it.
I
That
have
was
to
weird.
match that. I thought we were doing something.
Is that a thing? Do I do that a lot?
I thought if you don't touch your nose, you're like it.
I have no idea what's going on.
This one, I'm assuming, didn't have enough lightsabers for you.
Yeah, it
That
was
was
lacking.
that was a
Up until-
complaint in episode 7 from you.
Yeah, it had one lightsaber fight, really. Because I don't
Really?
count the end.
What do you think about Phasma? Did she get the?
Nope.
No, she didn't.
No.
Like they play her to be this big bad. She still got her ass kicked.
Yep.
Nah.
The Vice Admiral. I felt that was a miscast.
Vice Admiral.
Whatever Dern. Her name,
Laura Dern?
did not care for her character. I should have felt something when she sacrificed
yeah.
herself. hyperspace
that
That's
hyperdrive
badass,
is tight
though.
into
though.
something, I should have felt like, oh shit, that's badass. Like she sacrificed, should have had a tear rolling down her eye.
I didn't care about her, but that part was cool,
That part was
especially
cool.
because it was silent.
The idea that it's cool and it looked cool, but man, that should have been more like, should have played like some rebel music right then. Da, 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 da.
And if that's the effect that you get, and you're outnumbered that much, why don't you have kamikaze pilots going in light speed, fucking tearing through destroyers?
Any little ship could have done that.
Yeah,
So,
but that was cool. I did like it.
I had a couple
Well,
issues.
hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because that ship she used was humongous, so it was
Yeah.
an easier chance of tearing through the, what the hell was that thing called?
Dreadnought.
Yeah.
It was even bigger.
But
than
if you
that.
were using like an X-Wing or something,
You'd have to be more precise.
you might put a hole through the ship, but you wouldn't cut it in half like that because the X-Wing's so little.
Mass and force, I get what you're saying.
I don't know. If you're going hyperspeed, I mean, any small mass going that fast would be.
It's like if I hit you with a fucking broadsword, it's going to cut you in half.
it's
But
like
if I hit you with a scalpel, it's
a
still
meteor
gonna
falling
cut
to
you.
Earth.
Well, so like if you shoot me with a gun, it's gonna make a bullet hole. But if you shoot me with like a cannon and it fucking goes through me, it's gonna make
But
a
both
huge
can
hole.
kill you.
If a meteor, if a meteor hits
the gun
Earth
might
going
surface
fast
area.
enough, it's all speed
I
versus
guess-
mass. So if you're going hyperspeed, the mass could be fucking a pebble, and theoretically it would do catastrophic damage. But I mean, whether doesn't follow, there's no fires in space. So we're arguing, like,
Star Wars science.
yeah, exactly. I wasn't a fan of a couple story.
I think
Beats.
that somebody should have died to stop that thing from breaking down the gate. Like they had got that far, they hyped up Finn to. I didn't want to lose Finn, but I mean,
I was
she could
prepared
have
to.
That was dumb.
But
They even could have
saved
done
him
a thing where Rose hits him and
and
she
goes in.
gets hit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking was going to happen.
And no, I want to save the one I love. She basically just damned everybody. That's so dumb.
It was almost a little too Independence Day, where he flies into the big cannon and it almost blows up.
At this point, it's hard to not take inspiration from any. Fallen Kingdom. That was the other trailer that was during
Yeah.
What was that?
What was that one?
the new Lost
didn't-
World
I didn't-
or the new Jurassic
Oh,
Park.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I did get
I
that
saw
one.
that on the internet.
I don't know how I feel
You
about
didn't
the
see the other
premise
one?
of that movie.
Yeah, I don't know about. I agree with you, but the Lost World, Jurassic World was really good.
I had nothing
It
against
was
it. I'm
cheesy,
just-
but it was good.
It was
I
fun.
haven't been on a podcast in a long time, so if you guys don't remember, I don't watch movies. Hardly
This one
ever.
you saw right away.
It's Star Wars.
The last Star Wars. You
like,
didn't
I've
see the
seen-
last one right away.
I actually I watched it again on Friday night just to remember, but I like this movie better than that one.
I like Force Awakens better than this one. I was thinking about it a lot today. I as much as I'm nitpicking, I really did like this movie. I clapped a couple times when fucking Luke Skywalker came out in the black,
Yeah.
getting ready to fight, and
That's
I
fine.
love that they showed their feet. I know it might be stupid, but they showed their feet right before they were going to make a move.
Yeah,
Right.
that was
like
cool.
they were assessing how
Positioning.
each one was going to make
That's like a samurai.
a movie.
Attack.
Yes,
Well,
and I
yes.
like that a lot.
Did anybody see the blue lightsaber and then realize that he
could have had it.
wasn't like he had his brown hair, like it was not like did he dye his beard? Like did anybody
The hair was
guess?
shorter, the beard was shorter,
Yeah.
everything was.
Did anybody guess that he was not there?
No.
Yeah.
No.
How do you feel about him?
I wish he was there.
Obi-Waning.
Like even after he got shot with all the lasers, like oh he's just a fucking badass Jedi.
Yeah.
I don't
And
see
he
the,
still is. Or
I
was.
would have been more emotionally impacted if he was there and he actually just let himself go in battle. The fact that he made it was just he's pushing the image into a
He used his life force to
projecting
sacrifice
it?
himself. That's not good enough for you?
I think it
No.
would have been
I'd rather him actually been there and actually done that.
I think it would have been repetitive and shameful to have one guy kill two of the three original main members of. I would have had no problem with him dying there, but if Kylo Ren would have killed Han Solo and Luke Skywalker, I would have been immensely disappointed.
I would have liked for him to like put up a fight and actually
Yeah.
get beaten.
Yeah, all he did was
Like instead of just sacrifice himself.
make a hologram of himself and then
He didn't sacrifice himself. He
And-
became one with the Force, just like Obi-Wan
And
did.
then-
Obi-Wan
Right.
didn't die. He became one with the Force.
Right.
He was at
He
peace,
was at peace.
and he let himself go.
So is he going to come back as
Yeah.
as
An
a
apparition?
Absolutely.
A Force ghost?
a
Yes.
force ghost?
I think Obi-Wan's sacrifice was more meaningful it actually bought time, and he couldn't have gotten away.
I don't think this was as meaningful to Kylo. It was meaningful to Luke. He had shut himself off to the Force forever, and at the end of his life, he finally was at peace and let himself go. It wasn't as much about Kylo Ren. It was a combination of...
He made a mistake, and he was making that correct.
He'd fix anything, though.
He got to apologize.
He recognized that he made a bad decision, and he voiced it, that he actually did that.
Yeah, I was all on board with all that stuff.
I'd rather him stuck around and led their resistance.
And
Me too. Me too.
Or
But
at the very last made a heroic stand and actually physically was there to help Leia and everybody else get away. Instead of a projection and then like, okay, well, I'm done projecting. Let me just die.
Yeah,
He did help them get away.
that. Yeah, he did. But,
He did, and then he could have just lived after that. I mean, his life wasn't... He didn't solve all the problems.
He wouldn't have survived all those laser blasts. That's the thing.
That's
if
fine.
he would have been there.
If he could have, though, if he like blocked them all with his mind, that would have been a cooler scene.
Well, you got to figure like Qui-Gon Jinn and them were further along in the Force than Luke was. They had way more training, and they couldn't even stop the fucking lasers from those rolling things.
But they fought a couple. I mean,
But they blocked him with their lightsaber. They didn't block, and he's not going to block 25 walkers.
if he had,
Shooting at him.
would you have been like,
Yes,
gasp?
I would have been. But he like.
And if he shot them all back and like took out all the AT-ATs?
But then you would have had the same amount of people saying, "This guy didn't even have a fucking full training, and now he can shoot shit off in the back."
He has more midichlorians.
Oh my god.
I think that would have been a more spectacular ending. And then if he let himself go after he took out all the AT-ATs and they flew out the front door, I would have been happy with that.
Yeah, I didn't. As much as stuff as I had problems with, I didn't have any problem with the way Luke went out.
I have a
I
problem
didn't
with Casino Planet. Didn't like anything on it.
Yeah, it was unnecessary.
The only thing, Benicio del Toro.
That
I
was
like
good.
that.
But even he was unnecessary.
He'll be back.
That whole storyline was unnecessary.
Yeah, getting a locksmith.
We got Orlando.
We got what?
He's gonna be Lando. He's just gonna come back in the next one, and he's gonna help him now because he just works for whatever side.
Yeah, they didn't cast somebody like that to be in it for 5 minutes.
But that
What was
whole
with the stutter?
that whole
Part of his character.
yeah, the whole trip
Good
down
start,
there,
too.
seeing the slot machines, watching the races, and like
And it wasn't just to have a failed plan. All the kids, that was part of the end is, sparking the rebellion for people that are less fortunate.
that's one thing. It could have been done a different way.
Yeah,
but in the end, also you think about Benicio del Toro when they got back, they actually didn't do shit because that whole him shutting down that ship or whatever, the tracker, did not work at all.
That's what I'm saying.
So
it's
it's legitimately
pointless.
a 35-minute excursion for
For
nothing.
nothing.
You know, another part of that. What was the black droid called? I can't remember. Do you guys remember?
I don't remember what it's called.
But so I'm sure you've all seen it everywhere. They made a ton of toys for it, and it was in a bunch of advertising, and then it's in the movie for 5 minutes.
With the black BB-8.
Yeah, it sees him in the box, and then it alerts everybody. And
Well, it's because they create characters just to be action figures because it's not. Disney didn't buy Star Wars just for the Star Wars movies. They bought it for the merchandising. I mean, the amount of money that they make off of toys has to be
I've like seen all the
outrageous.
floor droids. That remind me. The little black boxes running around on their little tracks.
What about the iron?
Steam cleaner.
I was like, that ship looks just like a fucking
I
iron.
said the same thing. That's a callback to a 13-minute short called Hardware Wars. I saw that on Facebook today.
Really?
Yeah, and I saw it the same. I turned to Abby and I was like, "It looks like a big iron," and then it was an iron.
It's like, that's cheap. Why would they do that? That was an iron. Yeah, it was pretty good.
I had a problem with the whole construct. The whole movie centered
Is there
around.
anything you didn't have a problem with?
Yeah, a couple things. But the whole thing was centered around a chase with Star Destroyers and a ship in the air where it's never been a problem to travel at like hyperspeed or super speed. And it boiled down to basically it was a chase that would have been more suited for like a naval movie, like Master and Commander, where you literally one ship is faster and can't catch up to another one. With ships that have hyperspeed, how do you fucking go to a slow speed chase through space? And that's like a
Because
thing.
they were running out of fuel and they couldn't keep going, otherwise they'd be tracked.
Could none of the Imperials hyperspace a quarter second in front of them and come back a different way?
They would have had to go.
That's fucking horseshit.
They would have had to go to the side.
Are you kidding me?
there has to be a minimum
fucking bullshit.
minimum amount of distance you have to travel if you go into hyperspace or light speed.
They have-
and it's not going to be
So
2 miles.
in the
however
last
long it
movie,
was.
Han Solo came out of hyperspeed in the atmosphere of the planet that was turned into the Starkiller planet. So he came out of hyperspace.
Alderaan?
No, Starkiller planet.
Oh, okay.
That's how he got under their radar. He came out in the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
So he can be that precise. Can a Star Destroyer, if it has to go a certain distance, do a triangle move?
Obviously, none of the pilots for Star Destroyers are as good as Han Solo.
Right.
But, I mean, you could be within like 20 miles and still be ahead of the fucking rebels.
I didn't think about that. I was watching him.
I'm like...
There has to be a reason. We just...
And like
subtle reason they explained it.
A three-dimensional space with ships that travel faster speed of light. That's weird.
It's because we all enjoyed these as kids and we're willing to overlook the fact that it's
Doesn't
just
make any sense.
It doesn't make sense.
There's a really good chance I didn't see any of these movies until my 20s.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And there's a really good chance I have not seen Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, my God.
That's why I bought all of them on Black Friday.
That's so funny. You're so weird.
You are.
Sorry.
Remember that day we watched all 6 of them?
Yeah.
We got Papa Murphy's. Yeah, we watched all of them. It was great. It took a long time, too.
Oh, there was something funny. So when I was over the other night, Oliver kept running around with the Porg Pez dispenser.
Mm-hmm.
And he's asking everybody, who is this? And you tell him a Porg, and he just asks everyone. And he comes back to me, and it's like, hey, what movie is that from? He's like, number 2. And I'm just like, for him, it's number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I'm just, it's one of those things you never think about.
Yeah. He didn't get to see it.
Nope.
He was heartbroken.
Sucks to be him.
But it's funny because this was a little slower of a movie. It did have a lot of downtime, and I think he would have been.
long.
And it was 2.5 hours. I think he would have been bored.
That's how I was. Up until the scene where they were in the chamber with Snoke, I was like, this is a pretty chill movie. It's pretty mellow,
Yeah.
I'm just enjoying myself. And then from there on out, I was like, okay, now some shit's going down.
I like that planet was salt, not snow. I thought it was ice in the trailers and stuff.
Yeah, it looked like it.
So are those or salt foxes?
Weren't they crystal?
There was Crystal. The fox bunny dogs.
Yeah.
The Pokemon.
Those are cool.
You could totally see that as a Pokemon, like an evolution of Eevee.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a snow version of Vulpix.
Yeah, that would work.
The Alola version.
I thought that was a beach. Why would it be snow? Sorry, whatever.
I don't know. Sidebar.
Yeah.
It was visually cool seeing the red and the white though when
Yeah.
the speedsters are going
Yeah.
towards. That was cool.
I did not need that mechanic character.
Rose.
Lady. Yeah, she didn't do anything for me. She was just there.
I did like that she lasered Finn.
For intro scene, fine. And after that, I don't know.
How do they make bomber planes that have no self-defense? It's like we have to have other planes defend you while you get into place.
They're going back. They should have got Y-wings.
Why?
Because they're bombers.
I mean, are there any left? I didn't. It's one of those things nobody thinks about. Is literally that was all they had left.
Yeah.
That is weird too. That
They've been hunted for how many years? I mean, and just beat down.
how did they don't go into detail how the New Order
Came to
rose
rise.
to such prominence when the Republic. Granted, they were all 5 big Republic planets were destroyed by Starkiller Base, but it should have been the majority.
Super Death Star.
Yeah, but for them to have dreadnoughts built in secret or whatnot, I don't know.
This is going to be way out of left field. What was the ship that caught the Enterprise in mid? Yeah, I'm going from Star Wars to Star Trek. That caught the ship mid.
Oh, the super. I know what you're talking about.
Talking about the movies or the show?
Fuck the show.
The new movies.
Yes.
Yeah, the
Fuck
second
all the
one.
other movies too. Just the new movies. They caught him in mid hyperspace or whatever they call it in Star Trek.
Warp speed.
Is it warp speed?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't see the last movie, but I watched a bunch.
It was
of the shows.
it was when Peter what's his name? RoboCop's character was
Yes.
catching up to
He
him.
catches him mid air. Wasn't that called the Dreadnought?
I'm gonna find out.
Was it a Klingon ship?
I mean,
No,
a dreadnought's,
It was
He
an
made, like, a
Enterprise.
It was
You
a
didn't
it
see
was
the
a
second Star
it was
Wars
a
one?
it was an
There's three
Enterprise
of
ship.
them now.
a dreadnought's a term for like a big ship.
Yeah.
It's a class, so that's whatever.
I'm just. It just.
a cool sounding name.
They usually keep Star Wars and
Differentiate.
Star Trek.
I think it was a Romulan ship because the name sounds familiar.
Romulan was the first
Was the
movie.
first
Yeah, this was an Enterprise ship.
Were those a Romulan? Oh,
It was
like
an
a-
Enterprise warship, and they had never made warships because they were a peace.
It was like a
Peaceful.
super duper Enterprise.
What was it called? Beyond.
Well, even that same thing. How was there's 20 years between 6 and 7, let's say. How the hell are you gonna, even in 20 years, build multiple dreadnoughts, build a Starkiller base?
All the
They're called slaves.
money.
And for the Republic not to catch on. It always, like, I was thinking about it because I read some stuff how Star Wars 1 was made, but the whole rebellion, all they have is like 30 like small crafts to fight with the Death Star. Like, it's a very small scale for, like, if you look at real battles in history just on Earth, there could be battles with tens of thousands of guys die in one battle.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd think if it was like a historical fiction in space, the extrapolation of that would be
Hundreds of thousands.
billions and billions. Like, it'd be a whole planet. Imagine if all of Earth went against something. Can you imagine how many fucking ships and shit we'd have? Like, you couldn't. So if our planet joined the
I
rebellion.
have to say something about that.
Okay. Can you imagine how many, like, people we would lend to the rebellion? So when Princess Leia got down to like 13 people, and that was all that was left. Like, fuck, man. Did she not even have half a planet on her side?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Did you see that there were released United States intel this week about that there was a program that the Pentagon had to identify UFOs and UFO sightings?
No.
And it was canceled in 2012 due to funding, but they released documents this week, and it was an 18-year Air Force pilot, and him and another guy were flying over the ocean in Southern California, and they were flying, and they saw something come out of the water with no wings and fly faster than any plane, that anything that either one of them had seen, and go into the atmosphere and disappear. And they were flying back, and it came back down and zipped around and went off.
The name of your ship is Vengeance.
It was Vengeance?
Yeah.
Okay.
You bitch. What? Remember
Now that we just shit on this movie for like 40 minutes, does anybody want to talk about the stuff that they liked?
Remember when the bugs bombed Buenos Aires? Were you bummed?
Do you want to know more?
So you remember all those human ships in that movie, Starship? That should have been one planet's worth in Star Wars.
Yeah, the thing is right, the way that our world's going right now, we're not lending to the rebellion, we're journeying up with the First Order.
Yeah, that's true. But when they only have
Some of us.
when they only have 6 bombers, that's the last bomber in our fleet. I'm like, God, your fleet sucks dick.
Yeah.
God damn it.
With all those nitpicking said, I really did enjoy the movie. I liked all the Luke Skywalker stuff. I love seeing Mark Hamill actually get to have some scenes.
You go on the Millennium Falcon. That made me sad.
Oh, yeah, he's looking around. Oh, and when he asked what happened to Han, where's Han? I'm like, oh. He didn't know. I forgot that he didn't know he died.
I wish he was a tad more sentimental. Like, I wish he got choked up a little bit.
I think he was
like when he got shown Leia's original message from R2-D2.
Oh,
that was probably the most
good.
sentimental he got. And that worked pretty well. But, like, this is funny because I rewatched all the Star Wars within a month.
Did they have
time.
the gold dice in the other ones?
I think they were
It may
hanging
have
it-
been
I think, it's in the, I
Little
think it's in the first one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because
Did
I
you
don't
see it
remember.
disappeared? So he made that in his mind too.
He had a powerful mind.
I was watching the last one, The Force Awakens, and I just forgot like a horrible thing. It was after Han Solo died, and Leia, like the Millennium Falcon lands, and Leia walks up and consoles Rey, like the Han died. I know, honey, I know. She walks right past Chewbacca and consoles Rey, who she's never met. She legitimately only
Just
heard
spent a
about
ton
her.
of time with Chewbacca.
And Chewbacca, who's been with Han Solo and her for years, and she couldn't even fucking bat an eye. I'm like, that's fucking low.
I remember seeing a little. It was like a 4 or 5 window comic of Chewbacca, and it's
Not getting
Chewbacca.
the medal.
No, it's Chewbacca and Han Solo, and how they're like these best friends.
Oh, and him and Kylo.
And then he has
Ben.
kids, and it's him
Yeah.
spending time with Ben and playing with Ben, and then Chewbacca seeing Ben kill Han Solo and having him in his crosshairs, and he's like crying, and I'm like, you don't really realize how hard that probably was on Chewbacca to see all that happen, because it's
I
like
made that comment to BB. I was like, that's probably his godfather.
yeah, it's like his best friend and his best friend's kid, and then he shooted at him with the bowcaster, right?
He shooted at him.
He shot at him with the bowcaster. Dude,
Yeah.
I have 2
He
kids
knows,
that
that's
say
why
these
he's
fucking
bleeding.
backwards says all the time.
yeah.
Remember him doing this?
Oh yeah.
Because Chewbacca shot him.
Did he have a scar when they showed him with the shirt off on that side?
question. I don't remember.
I don't think so.
They also said he didn't get struck where he got his
Yeah, I
scar
heard they
was.
moved it.
They moved it because it
moved
looked
it.
cooler.
It did look cool.
There's
all
also
of
a scar on Luke's robot hand from when he got shot
Nice.
in one of the movies
And
that I haven't
Return of
seen.
That you haven't
Jedi.
seen?
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
My final was today. I am free to watch them all.
So you still haven't watched them?
Let's just say I've seen them, but I haven't watched them. If that makes sense.
God damn it!
I haven't watched them in a long time, but I put them on casually in the background. It's been quite a few years since I sat down and watched all of them. Like,
Have you watched Rogue One recently? Or at
No.
all since theater?
yes, 1.5 times since theater.
Okay, I just watched it first time since theater.
Good movie.
Yesterday. First half I was like, oh yeah, man, that's okay. Second half I was like, oh fuck yeah, I remember this shit. It was legit. Like,
I like that you got to see a lot of different stuff. Like, you got to see stormtroopers on a beach, and you got to see the walkers. It was the walkers on the beach, the little ones. I
Those
can't
are big
remember.
ones.
it was AT-ATs.
Okay,
I don't think there's after that. Yeah, but the fact they brought in so much
the scale.
a Red Squadron, Gold Squadron, and Blue Squadron, which got wiped out. I was like, oh, that makes sense. And Darth Vader, freaking.
Oh god, Darth
That was
Vader
the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
The end when the Red's lightsaber kicks on.
Someone was, I think it was Will, was talking about the choreography. I guess was the first Darth Vader suit was very limiting. So when he did even his lightsaber fight, it's very like just
stiff.
not over exaggerate. Yeah. So when they said in Rogue One they wanted to mimic that. So when he's in the hallway scene, it's very little like arm movement, but more like wrists.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that is true. I guess I can see it because he was like spinning his lightsaber around, and
Is that how like Michael Keaton never turned his neck in Batman?
Yeah.
because he couldn't.
so if they had to mimic,
You ever noticed that, Brian?
Well, they made a joke about it in The Dark Knight, and that he needed to be able to turn his head.
Is that really a joke?
Well,
I
he's
thought more Chris was actually the first Batman Begins that his suit was actually bad too.
well. They've never been able to. None of the cows
But
can
he,
turn their
he
heads.
went like, he went like this. If you see him move anything, and
Don't you remember in Batman Forever where Val Kilmer looks down at Chris O'Donnell in the bat boat and he kind of turns his whole body and gives a thumbs up? I don't know how the hell Chris O'Donnell sees that, but yeah, he's never been. Even Ben Affleck doesn't.
If we just picked the shit out of Star Wars, if we went on to the Val Kilmer and George Clooney Batman movies,
those are bad.
yes.
I rewatched them a little bit ago. They're really bad.
No.
One thing I did like about the Star Wars is I like
The Star Wars.
Star
about the
Wars.
Star Wars movie we're talking about is,
Star Wars movie you guys are all talking about.
is how you saw different. You kind of
I
you
can't take
kind
you
of saw.
seriously now that I know you haven't seen them.
I saw this one. How you can see the perspective of what happened between Luke and Kylo. Like, at first you thought it was this, and then you got Luke's perspective, and then you got Kylo's perspective, and it kind of molded it a little bit differently. Mm-hmm. I thought that was interesting.
I know that a lot of people hate Kylo. I like Kylo Ren. I think he's like a tore up character. I just like he's like
Still too whiny.
yeah, I don't have a problem with that. He's
He's
a
a
tormented
damaged kid.
Yeah, he's a tormented kid.
He
He's a
broke his
millennial.
he broke his mask.
He's actually older than I am.
He's
Adam
34.
Driver.
Well, how old is his character?
Yeah. It's funny they make him look a lot younger than he looks in
that's
real
what I
life.
noticed.
He was a Marine.
Was he?
Yeah. Yeah.
He got discharged.
Honorably discharged.
Too much dark in him.
No, I liked like I said, I liked John Boyega and Oscar Isaacs. It's really sad that we're not going to have any of the original cast members unless we have a Force Ghost. Because
What are they gonna do with Leia?
yeah, she was planned to be in the next one.
But it was weird. Every time I saw her talking to people, it seemed like
She was saying farewell.
yeah, it was really weird.
I think that's just in context because she died.
Yeah.
It's almost been a year.
Has it really?
It has been, hasn't it?
It
This-
was
yeah,
like
it's
2 days after
December.
Christmas.
They said that her dog watched the movie and he like perked up. She's got a famous dog,
Did she really?
Her
die
dog's
of
in the
guts?
movie.
huh?
Her dog's in the movie.
Is he?
Yeah,
Her
one
daughter's in the
of
movie.
the one of the. So I think in the casino, someone's holding this little
Oh, nice.
thing,
Her daughter's
and
in it,
Rian
too.
Johnson was like, "Yep, that's the dog."
His name's Gary Fisher.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's a French bulldog, I think. But yeah, he's like a famous dog. Like he does cons.
Was the guy with the lapel somebody?
I don't know.
He
looked
he's
like
someone,
someone.
but it's
Is he the comedian that they were referencing? I don't remember. Thought, did you catch this British comedian? I was like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
there was a bunch of
Okay.
cameos in that.
Well, they're
Tom
all
Hiddleston,
racist.
yeah, Tom Hiddleston was in it.
Was Michael Ian Black in it?
Mm.
Because he put out a thank you on Twitter saying, "Thank you for seeing the movie and it was fun doing this." And I'm like, he must have been like a stormtrooper or something.
Probably.
Like Kevin Smith was
Traitor.
What about the stormtroopers that came to execute Finn and Rose
With
in
those-
the half black and half white helmet?
I didn't even notice
I
that.
didn't. I thought they were
That was
pretty sweet.
Phasma's crew, right?
Yeah,
That's
So is she dead?
just the two.
Yeah.
Gwendolyn Christie?
Did you know how tall she is?
Yes, we all watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. See, I didn't.
Yeah,
You don't
she's like
know?
6'4",
Brienne.
6'5".
She's Brienne of Tarth.
Yeah, she's
Because
Brienne of
I was
Tarth.
looking at like
She's 6'3".
I was looking at pictures from the premiere, and it was
She's
like,
like,
She
well,
towers.
whoever's interviewing, it's like everybody's pretty much his height, and then Adam Driver's like here, and then she's like,
Adam Driver's big. Like, no, I really did like the movie. I mean, everybody's probably listening to this thinking that all of us hated it. I
No,
really
I
liked
really
it a
liked
lot. Did you want to go through any of your notes?
I was gonna ask the
I've
same
been checking
thing.
them off.
Oh, okay.
Justin Theroux is the code breaker.
Okay.
what was he in?
He's been in. He's been in.
I have no problem
I'll try to
with
find
Chewbacca
something
in
that we
this
all
movie.
He was
recognize.
barely in it.
Chewbacca is awesome. Every scene he's in. Well, if they show him
Just hanging
like
out on the island.
6 or 7 times, like busting down
Oh,
doors.
is he engaged to
Really?
Somebody.
from Friends? What's her name?
Jennifer Aniston.
There we go. Is that her? Him?
Yes.
Oh, he's an American Psycho. He's his friend who smoked coke with him in the bathroom.
Okay. A lot of people complain that Luke was whiny, and I'm like, Luke's been
No.
whiny for fucking every movie that he's been in.
He was spot on Luke.
Yeah, he was spot on Luke because it's Mark Hamill. He knows how to play Luke better than anybody else.
You know what we haven't touched on? Somebody getting their hand cut off.
Did anybody?
Or the lifting rocks reference.
Oh, that was cool.
Who got their hand cut off?
Nobody. I technically Snoke did, but
Does,
Were we expecting?
No.
does Star Wars
I
have to
was.
abide by like?
I think that's one of the
Is that how
problems.
you graduate? You get your hand cut off?
Well, I mean, it happened in episode 2. It happened in
It's not a Marvel
episode
movie.
5. They put it in the Marvel movies. Anyway,
Hmm.
so for me, when they go back to Snoke after he's cut in half and Hux walks in and sees him, you can see his arm laying like off on its own. So maybe that's it. But I think like I read a ton of stuff online, and I didn't want to like try to bring it up as my own, but I think most people don't like the movie because they went in with so many expectations because this is a Star Wars movie. It's a second of 3, all this stuff, and they just destroyed all of that. And I'm sure everyone's pissed.
Because you see a lot of hate. And these are all nitpicks that I said, but I didn't hate the movie. I liked it a lot.
Did George Lucas direct all 6 of the
No.
other episodes? No.
He directed 4 total, I think.
So is it weird that they go from Abrams to Johnson and then
1,
back
2,
to
3, and
Abrams?
4.
He directed all 3 of the prequels?
I'm pretty sure he did.
No, I thought he only did the first one.
And I know he only did 1 of the 3 originals, right?
Well, does it seem weird that you have Abrams set up this entire storyline and then Johnson can come in and say, yeah, we're not going to do this?
He's also directing his own trilogy.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. He directed Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, he directed all the originals or the prequels, all the prequels, and A New Hope. So 4, yeah. Corey is correct.
So he didn't do Empire. Or
No, he got.
Return.
What do
Carl
you even? Why would you even
Kushner?
say anything? You didn't even see him.
Oh my god.
I can still say it.
Anybody can still see anything, unless you were to die.
Let's hope not.
I
I
mean,
hope
don't talk
not.
at all.
Yeah, then you wouldn't be on the podcast anymore.
What
But
is
isn't
on the
that-
notes, Katrina?
I like that they show what the droids actually do in the ship when they're docked on the ship. When BB-8 like rolls in and he starts like fixing
Oh, that was
things.
funny.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
that was
with
cool.
plugging the holes. And he just
good.
bashes his head into it.
I like that.
What about little throwbacks? Like, did you go like when a door would open or close? Did you see how it would like pause like in the old movies?
I didn't notice that.
It's probably happened like 2 or 3 times, but
It happens really fast and just like kind of pauses
yeah,
there for a second.
because the ways they would have to
Yeah.
film it originally, but to keep it in there still.
No, I didn't notice that. That's cool.
There was another thing I saw. So earlier we were talking about when Luke becomes one with the Force, and when they cut back to him on that rock, and he's sort of like flailing
Wobbling.
around
Yeah.
behind it, and he climbs up, and they show the suns, and there's this big black spot, and I was like, oh shit, who's coming for
Yeah.
him? But then the next scene, there's no black spot on the sun. I was
Yeah,
like,
I was wondering that too.
I thought about that, and I also thought like there was 2 suns there, right?
Mhm.
And Tatooine had
Two suns.
2 suns, right? So it's like full circle.
I think a couple planets have had
Yeah.
little suns.
But he was looking at 2 suns, and he kind of just smiles for a minute, and then he's gone. Man.
Was there anything that helped us understand the whole plot of the one before was we gotta find Luke. Let's get the map. So the like prologue stories, Poe Dameron has to get the map from some old guy that knew Luke and Princess Leia. You know,
Way back when.
they never covered that in this movie. Like, who made the map to Luke Skywalker, and why is there such a thing like a treasure map? What? They never. This movie did nothing.
Why would
Luke
he
never wanted to be found?
Yeah, why would there be a map if he never wanted to be found?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did that kind of ruin some of the previous movie a little bit? No?
I don't think so.
That's weird.
That's the next Star Wars story.
Why they made the map.
It's a loose end that wasn't wrapped
Well-
up, that's just left dangling.
We can get Nicolas Cage.
National
Go
treasure.
find the treasure.
You know that.
Also, loose end with, what is, they say, the thread, what is that Snoke thingy? Was the term he used? We got the rebels by a thread or a string.
Yeah.
How are they tracking him through hyperspace? Did you assume it was going to be John Boyega? Had something inside of him or something?
No,
What did you assume when they said, like...
I didn't assume anything.
Well, it was like Whisper, so... You know, Huck said he had some secret thing.
Yeah,
And
he
then-
developed a way to track people through hyperspace.
But then you missed a conversation with him and Snoke, because
Warp
Snoke's just
speed.
saying, ha ha ha, Hux, that's why you're so good. Get out of here. And then it's like a mystery almost that, how do they track? Because every other character on the Rebel ship, like, they can't track us. It's impossible. And the whole movie writes off at the end saying, oh, well, they must have figured out how to do the tech.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
new
like-
technology. New technology comes around every 6 months. When 6 months goes by, the
Yeah.
technology that came out previously is already.
I would have been happy with them having some secret, like, John Boyega was actually tagged as, you know, so they could track him.
I honestly assumed that that's what it was going to be, something like that.
It
And
seemed
then
like
he goes off ship, so...
it seemed like a dropped subject. Like, the first bit
I
of the
think you
movie.
just take it as it is, and they've developed a new technology to track him. It's probably been in the works for years, Corey.
You know, like the first Star Trek when they
Figure out how to beam people up.
yeah, into somebody going into hyperspace.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like, oh shit, how'd you do that? And then it made sense in the plot of the movie that a super scientist made it. They didn't cover that. It would be like the same thing, tracking somebody through hyperspace. In this
So
one.
you're saying if they would have given the scientist that created a credit, then
Why-
it would have been
why
justified?
edit out the Hux conversation with Snoke? Like, make it look like it's a secret if it was nothing.
It's something that Kylo Ren doesn't know about.
But that doesn't affect anything, Kylo Ren not knowing.
If you're seeing the movie through his perspective and not Hux's, or you're seeing it through his perspective at that point, it would make sense that you didn't see that portion.
Not like the whole movie's first person point of view. For
Did
him.
you ever really get a lot of points that were just Hux?
Well, him talking to Poe.
That was good.
He had way less in this movie than he did in the last movie, didn't he?
I think it's way more in this one.
Really?
Yeah. Because
I
this
don't
movie's
think
way
so.
longer. Of course he had more time.
How much longer is this movie?
In the last one?
Yeah.
Probably a fucking half hour.
Brian?
Fact check.
Well, you guys gotta sum up what you want to sum up because we're...
Hux was pulling, what's her name from Galaxy Quest? He's repeating the orders of...
Sigourney Weaver?
Yeah. That's my job. I have to repeat what the computer says.
Galaxy Quest is such a good movie. Have you ever seen it?
I would put Galaxy Quest
That's
above
sad.
this movie.
No.
No.
Wow. You saying Galaxy Quest is such a good movie.
It is such a good movie.
It is.
This is better?
It's 16 minutes longer.
This is? Yeah, you're an idiot. It's not 30 minutes. No, but with all that said, and I already said this before, is I really did enjoy the movie.
You like the last one better.
Yeah, I think I did. And it's probably because we hadn't had a Star Wars movie in so long that it hit so hard, and I got to see Han Solo, but I didn't get to see Luke, and I got to see Luke in this one, so
How did you feel about Rey's origin story being nothing?
I still don't think that's true.
I don't think so either, because he's just trying to get to her.
I don't
It's
know.
not what she said. I've always...
It's like
He's
when...
got the feelings.
He got her to admit it, though, basically. Which is weird.
But I mean, it's like when Palpatine's like, come with me and we'll save Padme.
Padme.
Come on.
You're saying he's influencing her to believe that she's nobody?
Yeah.
The way he asked it, like...
He's trying to
you
make her
know,
angry.
Just say it. You know who your parents are. Just tell me. They're nobody. That's right. They were nobody. Fuck you.
That would have been so great if they said that.
Conversation over. So you don't think that's true?
I don't think it's true. I just get the feeling that it's not. And who knows? There was so much speculation from the last movie going into this one that stuff that just didn't pan out at all.
So where does it go? Like what? Now they just have to.
It goes to Solo next year.
What? No.
That's
So
where it
they just now it's
They're
just
rebuilding.
Now it's just Rey
It's
versus.
a rebuilding year.
Do you think there'll be any? Do you think that? Do you think episode 9 will be it?
Well, aside from the other trilogy that Johnson's
No,
making,
I'm saying, is this the end of the
I hope
Skywalker
so.
saga?
I hope so.
it probably should be.
Yeah.
I thought episode 6 should have been, so
But aren't you
Yeah.
glad they kept going?
now that this came out, yes.
So when Force Awakens came out, you didn't think so?
I was not excited for Force Awakens. I purposely didn't see it in the theater. I waited till it came out.
But you liked it?
I enjoy it. I'll watch it. It's a good movie. I liked Rogue One better.
I
I
didn't.
like this better.
I didn't. You're wrong. Just kidding. That's like people that are like, well, you see people arguing online. They're like, no, this was this good because this fact. I'm like, no, it's not a fact. It's your opinion.
It's your
That's
opinion.
okay. We're all allowed to have them. I think that episode 7, 8, and Rogue One are all really good, fun movies.
We can agree that they're all better than the prequel movies.
Yes, all 3 of them.
Yeah.
None of them are better than the original 3.
If you were to have someone start them from the beginning, like do you start at 4?
Corey,
4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6.
this is the way to watch them.
Can I
4 or
get
5.
some background?
Yeah,
Get the information.
Machete rule or style of watching. So you watch 4 and 5, so you retain the Darth Vader
I'm your father.
spoiler, and then when 5 ends, it's such a cliffhanger. But you want to find out who's the Emperor, how did Anakin become Darth Vader, so you enjoy a 3-movie long flashback, which has a better reveal on who the Emperor is in terms of the galaxy.
This is like a real
I don't
thing.
like it.
No, that's fine. It's just this is the worst flashback I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
The flashback was good.
It is a better reveal for Luke and Leia being brother and sister, because it saves it to the very end of episode 3, which 3 is not a bad movie compared to the
It's the
other
best
two.
of the prequels.
And toward the end, it's wrapping up it's putting all the things together to be episode 4. And when somebody reveals she's carrying twins, so I showed it to BB. She had never seen it. She found out Leia and Luke were brother and sister in that movie.
If we could actually get her to talk, I would have liked her to talk to her before.
But in episode 6, Luke finds out Leia is his sister, talking with Yoda, and it seems he just kind of shouts out her name.
It might be kind of fun to
Less impactful.
have you. I mean, you've seen some Harry Potter stuff. It might be fun to kind of ask you questions and see if you can get the whole. Wouldn't that be fun? See if we can get the whole plot line out of you through.
I don't think I would make it very far.
No, neither did that girl that was like Han Solo.
Oh,
Hans. Damn it! I had something to say and now I fucking lost it.
It's the only movie with a giant chase where one character can take a ship hyperspace away for 6 hours, hyperspace back to the chase, and try to stop it from happening.
What?
So horrible.
Hey, do you need to watch Rogue One in there now, or does it not matter?
I showed it after episode 6, and so that way she could watch 7 and then 8 immediately.
Okay.
But
Question.
I would have put Rogue One before the first movie. Maybe after episode 3 would be a
It
good...
is. It is between 3 and 4.
Yeah. So if you had to work it in, but since it's a real big spinoff, I don't want to confuse anybody.
With as little as everybody liked the prequels, would you still be okay with a standalone Obi-Wan Kenobi movie with Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan?
Yes.
What
What's the context?
not the context, like the, let's say, time frame.
Between 3 and 4.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great? Like, I would really enjoy that.
Like
When
him
we
going
say
tattooing?
we don't like the prequels, how much is we don't like?
I still enjoy them because it's Star Wars.
Yes.
Because, I mean, even, like, the Darth Maul fight is probably the best lightsaber fight in every movie. Out of all of them.
Each of the 3 movies, there are points where I'm like, this is fucking cool.
Like the Yoda and it's not Sidious. What's the
Palpatine?
Dooku.
No, yeah, Dooku.
Oh,
The
What's
Palpatine one's
his
good.
What's his Darth name?
Darth
Sidious.
No,
Tyrannus.
Darth
Oh.
Tyrannus. That fight was badass with him and Yoda.
I was watching... Oh, you guys haven't watched these in a long time. The first time Dooku talks to Obi-Wan, Obi-Wan's kind of tied up, and Dooku saying, "I'm sorry, my friend. You should never have been treated this way. The Sith have taken over the Republic. I started a separatist movement to fight them." I was like, this would have been a much better movie, to be honest, if Dooku was actually the good guy and none of the Jedi's believed him, and he had to resort to a separatist movement.
Uh-huh.
But then 2 minutes later, he said, "I'm gonna go back and see my boss, Darth Sidious."
Your boss.
Boss.
No, I like the. Is there anybody that really doesn't like the Darth Maul thing?
No, that is the highlight.
Yeah.
But then again, so is all the Jedi fighting on Geonosis. Let's say this: the clone troopers fighting, especially. Like for the 5 minutes they show like the dust cloud and just clone troopers fighting droids. That shit's fucking tight.
Even the Yoda Palpatine fight at the
Yoda Palpatine fight
The
was
prequel
episode
definitely
3.
had a lot more
And
lightsabers.
the Obi-Wan Anakin fight is
Yeah.
memorable.
Yeah, so I mean that shit went on for like 10 to 15
Because
minutes.
the Order wasn't its height at that time. There was a lot of Jedi to fight.
Grievous was a bitch. He ran away from everything.
Gary Oldman auditioned for that role.
Grievous?
Yeah.
Might be
Voice.
better. Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, that's how Grievous sounded. Good impression.
We need to end this, guys. Is there anything you guys want to touch base on before we end it? Now that we just shit all over this movie for an hour and a half?
Can we equate Rose to someone from one of the other trilogies? Like I said, Benicio del Toro is Lando. Do we have to give her like Jar Jar or?
No,
she's not
that's
that bad.
mean.
No, that's really mean.
That's insulting. It's a good
She
question.
might be a Padme-esque.
Did we need
I
that?
think that's too much.
The lady with the goggles in this movie?
Oh no, we didn't.
Moss,
we didn't
whatever
need
her name is.
Moss
What was she
Katana?
doing?
She was fighting. She was in a union dispute.
I didn't need any of that shit.
No.
Well, you didn't need the whole
That's
I
all
know.
side
side
mission.
quest.
Fucking gambling, like
They had to give John Boyega something to do.
Vegas and like I don't know. A lot of times when you watch Star Wars, it's wow, look at these cool planets they invented. I don't need to see fucking Vegas planet. That didn't do anything for me.
I saw that racetrack and I thought they were pod racing.
Me too.
Yeah.
I was like, that would have been
First
fucking.
thing I
Oh,
thought
pod
they
ra-
were
oh, yeah,
Big-
no,
Even
it's
like the deer.
Horse rabbits.
They were cool looking. They almost looked like that
The Last
creature
Guardian.
from Last
Terrico.
Guardian,
That's
yeah.
what I told Abby too. I was like,
Yeah.
it looks like Terrico.
they stole that
He
shit.
becomes super Japanese for a second when he pronounces one thing.
That's how you say
Super
it. That's how the character says it
Why
in
do
the
they have
game.
little kids guarding those?
That's why I don't
things?
like when people.
They were taking care of them.
I don't like when people that don't speak a
have
second
bards,
language
did they?
have specific words where they get like super into
Like-
that language.
Dude, I speak
Those
like
things-
4 languages.
Mm-hmm.
fucking tear
Like
up a
Terrico.
town. Yeah,
And
rich.
tamale.
Wear a couple guards.
Anyways,
Like
so go ahead.
no, I'm just thinking.
With that said, we
it's,
all like the movie.
Say 9.2.
Really?
I don't know. I'm just throwing a number out.
No, I'm not. I can't give ratings anymore.
You can't.
No.
I would give a B.
Katrina?
I give it a solid B.
I would have said a B plus.
Force Awakens is. I like
A
that one,
minus?
to be honest.
A minus for me.
For Force Awakens.
Oh, I like Force Awakens better. What about you, Eric?
Do I have to go to rating?
You don't.
I liked it better in Force Awakens. That's my rating.
All right.
You liked it better. Then. Okay.
I like Force Awakens better, but I
Is Force Awakens still on Netflix?
no.
Nope.
I looked
I had
yesterday.
to fucking buy
Disney's
it.
taking their shit down, man.
You
It's
fucking
in
Robert.
Voodoo.
Is
I had to
it?
go to
Yeah.
3 stores.
Did you really?
Fucking not at Target and not at
I'm
Walmart.
surprised they didn't have it everywhere with this one coming out.
Oh, there's
Because
spots
they're going to
for it.
release a super duper freaking edition soon.
And so I had to go to FYE.
For your entertainment.
Is that what it
I bought
stands
two.
for?
Yes.
I bought 2 Reptar bars from there last week.
Reptar?
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
Rugrats?
Yeah. Turned your tongue green.
That's awesome.
Yeah. What are you looking at?
Voodoo.
Voodoo. Is that new?
Hoodoo?
You
The ones
do?
on the top?
Yeah.
Remind me
I
of the
thought
base?
Force Awakens was in it.
It is.
So next week our episode will be a Christmas episode. I
I'm
haven't
not
designed.
doing that this time, to be honest. I prepared.
Did you?
Yeah.
No, we're doing Star
I wanna see the
Wars.
top
We're
ones.
not gonna.
The new
I thought we
ones.
were going to have plenty of time.
No,
For what?
Christmas.
no, we're gonna do 2. We'll do 2 episodes this week.
That's a good
Okay,
movie.
that's fine.
So
I got a list.
High
Well,
ambitions.
That one is-
6
I need
movies.
to
3
watch
bad,
that
3 good.
and that.
okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna do our 3 favorite and our 3 least favorite Christmas movies for our next episode.
Individually?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you going to be here?
Should I be
you
prepared?
want to.
Okay. Just
Prepare
tell me when.
yourself.
All right.
Saturday night.
Prepare yourself.
Are you good Saturday night?
Prepare your
It's
anus.
the 23rd?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you good Saturday
Christmas
night?
Eve Eve.
Probably.
Okay.
I forget a lot of stuff. I'll let you know.
Your family's abandoning you. You don't have any holiday shit anymore.
Ah.
Oh, that is coming up. That is the day
Christmas
before
Eve
Christmas
Eve.
2 days before Christmas.
Okay. I don't know. I'll look. I'll check.
Okay, we'll figure it out. And we'll do
I'll
it.
check.
So, and that'll be our last episode of the year. And I was telling Corey, with those 2 episodes, we'll have put out. We started the year a little slow.
A little.
It was only like 2 episodes in the first 2 months. but we'll have put out 41 episodes this year. It's pretty good.
And we know you guys have listened to them all. We
Eric has.
appreciate it.
I skipped one that I think was all Walking Dead related.
You're like, I don't care about this shit.
Yeah.
It's hard to say though, because even though we talk like this one's all Star Wars, did we talk about all Star Wars?
No, but like literally, you're like, hey, you know, welcome to the podcast. We're going to talk about Walking Dead.
Walking
And I
Dead,
think it was one of
all
the
the
ones where
time.
you guys recorded 30 minutes and then took a break to watch it and then
Gotcha.
came back, and I was just like, no.
No, I understand.
I skipped a couple of the Comic-Con ones when I was depressed about that. But
But we talk about you so much.
yeah, I know. It got annoying, so I was like, I need to do a fucking podcast. I'm tired of this shit.
So this is episode 62. So on episode 124, he'll be on again.
See you around, kid.
Star Wars episode
I'll be back for the episode
Fuck.
9 podcast.
Okay.
or Deadpool 2 at least.
So in 2 years, yeah.
Ooh.
Because he did Deadpool 2.
Can I say that?
That's what we did. We had a 2-hour long podcast the first time.
Oh yeah.
Was that about Deadpool?
No,
We talked about Deadpool. I swear.
no, that was the second or third episode. It was the Walking Deadpool. I remember the name of it.
So what, we talked about some of the movie that came out.
I don't know.
I'll look. But I think I'm the only person that...
Sucks.
No, whatever. I am more excited for Infinity War than I am for Last Jedi.
I was more excited for Disaster Artist than I was for either one of those movies.
I haven't seen it.
But no, the trailer for Avengers is really good.
It's so good.
And it's not like we talked about how are they going to fit it all in this one movie. It's not a 2-part movie, but it is a 2-part movie. Because Avengers 3 and Avengers 4 are the same story, but one's Infinity War and they haven't named the next one yet. It's not Infinity War 1 and 2, but Avengers 3 and 4 are still going to be 2 parts of the same story.
Storyline.
So there will be a conclusion to the Thanos storyline.
Exactly.
I got
But they're not coming out 2 years apart, are they? Aren't they coming out like...
Wasn't it? It's
Like 8 months
19?
apart?
No, I thought it was 18-19.
Okay, so it's back-to-back years instead of like 2
Well,
or
because
3
it's
years?
gonna be what, May?
Yeah, it's May, whatever that Friday
May
is.
4th.
May 4th. And then...
May the 4th be with you? Is
Uh-huh.
that your anniversary?
Yeah. I already requested the day off. We're going to go watch it.
Cool. Alright, that's gotta be it. So,
See you around, kid.
we're out.